From Yahoo News, the Doomsday Clock moves closest ever to midnight. So the Doomsday Clock, which is symbolizing the perils to humanity, moved Tuesday to its closest ever to midnight amid the Ukraine war, nuclear tensions, and the climate crisis. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientist, which describes the clock as a, quote, metaphor for how close humanity is to self-annihilation, edged its hands from 100 seconds to midnight to 90 seconds to midnight. A decision to reset the hands of the symbolic timepiece is taken each year by the Bulletin's Science and Security Board and its board of sponsors, which includes 10 Nobel laureates. The hands of the clock moved to 100 seconds to midnight in January of 2020, the closest to midnight it had been in the history, and remained there for the next 2 years. In a statement, the Bulletin said it was advancing the hands of the clock by 10 seconds this year, quote, due largely but not exclusively to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the increased risk of nuclear escalation. Quote, Russia's thinly veiled threats to use nuclear weapons remind the world that escalation of the conflict by accident, intention, or miscalculation is a terrible risk, it said. Quote, the possibility that the conflict could spin out of anyone's control remains high. The Bulletin said the new clock time, quote, was also influenced by continuing threats posed by the climate crisis and the breakdown of global norms and institutions needed to mitigate risks associated with advancing technologies and biological threats such as COVID-19. Quote, we are living in a time of unprecedented danger, and the Doomsday Clock time reflects that reality, said Rachel Bronson, president and CEO of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientist. Quote, 90 seconds to midnight is the closest the clock has ever been set to midnight, and it's a decision our experts do not take lightly, Bronson said. Quote, the U.S. government, its NATO allies, and Ukraine have a multitude of channels for dialogue, she said. We urge leaders to explore all of them to their fullest ability to turn back the clock. And as always, guys, I'll put a link in the video's description if you're interested in reading more. Wow, yikes. I don't want to see doomsday, guys. Let's all calm down, and maybe they'll reverse the clock, right? Right? All right, I'll see you guys on the next video.